Hey everyone, I hope you are having a wonderful day so far. I am just dropping this special little clip into all the episodes. So, no matter what episode you're listening to, this is actually pretty current as of July 2024. I wanted to come on here and just say a big thank you to Earworthy because the Life Shift podcast was just named the best overall podcast of the year in the first Earworthy Independent Podcast Awards. And you've probably seen some articles written about the Life Shift podcast before, written by Earworthy. And now he is launching from his online publication, he is launching these yearly winners of independent podcast awards. And these are specifically for indie podcasters. We are those that wear all the hats. We create the show. Some people write the show. We're producers, sound engineers. We troubleshoot all the tech. We do any kind of research if we need to. We host the shows. We distribute the shows. We do all the things that relate to our shows because we love it. And it's so nice to see my name in a list with some other amazing podcasts like Multispective, which won Best Life Lessons Podcast. Salad with a Side of Fries won Best Health Podcast. Bippity Boppity Business won Best Business Advice Podcast. And there are so many more. And so I just want to come on here and say thank you to Earworthy for not only doing these awards every year and just honoring some of us indie podcasters that sometimes feel like we're just shouting into the void, but we're not. We're just doing what brings us joy, and hopefully through that work it brings other people joy. In my case, for the Life Shift, I hope that each episode finds the ears that needed to hear it the most so that they feel a little less alone in their circumstance. But also, Earworthy writes all these amazing publications pretty much weekly, every week, every weekday, I should say, where he writes on Blogger, Medium, Substack, Tumblr, Vocal, Many Stories, and for other places. And he really just highlights the independent podcasters. So thank you, Frank, for everything you do with Earworthy and for recognizing all of us in the first Earworthy Independent Podcast Awards. If you'd like to read more, please head to medium.com/EAR hyphen WORTHY. Thanks again and enjoy this episode. Hello, my friends. This is another preview to a bonus episode that we do over on the Patreon feed. And so, with these bonus episodes, I like to go back to former guests and just catch up with them based on what we talked about on their show and see if things have changed a little bit, or maybe they had some feedback from people that they didn't expect, or maybe they just learned something new about themselves by sharing the story. And so in this clip, I wanted to share just a little piece of the latest conversation that I had. If you're interested in checking out the full bonus episodes, you can head over to the Patreon page, which is www.thelifeshiftpodcast.com/join. And there is a special tier that gets you ad-free episodes, early release episodes, and the bonus episodes. And so come on over, check out the Patreon community and see how you can support the show if you're interested. But without further ado, here's a preview of the latest bonus episode. And in fact, I had someone, I think it was yesterday, on Twitter, and she checked out the podcast for the first time, and your episode is the one she chose because she had gone through something similar when she was a child, and she wanted to connect. She wanted to feel that she wasn't alone, which, we know this, right? We know logically, I think we know that we're not the only ones that go through this, but when we're in those moments, we feel like we're the only people that will ever experience that particular thing. And so I told her that I would let you know because I knew we were recording today, but that was the first episode out of 30, 40 episodes she could choose. She chose the one that resonated with her the most, and she listened to that. So,
You know what's so powerful about that? Before I got baptized, I had been going to my church for about a year and a half. And they did a lot of public baptisms. They did private ones too, but they did a lot of public ones where people would share their testimony, and they were all pretty similar. There was very rarely ones that those individuals had come from really hard past, right? Whether it was with addiction or abuse or whatever it may be. I remember on a Thursday, it was, I think, in like August or September. On a Thursday, I got on my computer. I'm talking to God, and I'd been going to church, for a while at that point. I'm talking to God, and I was like, God, show me a testimony of someone with my story. And I went and I looked for testimonies on the church website because they posted the videos. They had hundreds of testimonies. I scrolled through, I clicked, I listened. They're all the same, all the same, all the same. None of them had my story. I did the same thing that this person reached out to you. Like, just show me my story. Didn't find my story that day. 4 days later, I go to church, and there was 2 baptisms that day. Both baptisms were women with my story. 2 in the same day, never been done before. I'm begging, I'm pleading, I'm searching. And both of these women legitimately told my story. I grew up, child sexual abuse in my family. These are the things that I went through. I had PTSD, I've had suicide attempts, legitimately everything, almost as severe, like to the day, everything. And so you making that statement, that resonates with me because I did that. And the reason why I tell my story is so that when someone else goes to say, God, show me, help me, or universe, like, please just let me know it's not me. That's what I want to do. I want my story to be out there so that they don't have to feel like I did.